What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Legitical Response. We cover political news. We keep you up to date and keep you informed with everything that the government does, folks. And Biden is on top of his game. No, he's not, actually. But he is getting out there. He's on the campaign trail. He's about to go to Camp David to get himself prepped for debate with Donald Trump. Holy crap, this thing is biased against Donald Trump. Cutting off the mics. Like, that's not even really a debate, right? That's just going to be this person talking, then this person talking, right? Like, debates are supposed to be back and forth. You're supposed to kind of talk over each other because generally when a person starts losing the debate, you'll get talked over and then you'll shut up to let the other person make their point. That's how debates generally go. Right? But I mean, it's not necessarily like that. But debates always have people talking over each other, trying to get their points across. And if you can't talk over each other, what's the point in the debate? It's just going to be a town hall, essentially, with two different sides. It's like, yeah, that's just, it's crazy. And then there's no live audience. Like, this thing is, it's rigged in a certain way, but that doesn't mean that it's rigged against Donald Trump, to say the least, because I don't really see Donald Trump losing in this just because of Joe Biden's mental faculties are kind of waning, if you will, to be nice. They're waning. Yeah, but he's out on the campaign trail, folks, and he is making his pitch. The only thing he has to go on, the only campaign issue that he can get out there and actually make any sort of difference on is abortion. And that's exactly what he's doing. Check this out. Biden warns we're up against extremism in video marking Dobbs' anniversary. Yes, we're up against extremism, folks. Wait to hear what the extremism is, folks. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and debunk Joe Biden once again. The Biden campaign on Monday launched a full-fledged push to highlight 2 years since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, highlighted by a video in which President Biden cites former President Trump's boast about ending Roe. Here's what Donald Trump says about your freedom. About 50 years of failure with nobody coming even close. I was able to kill Roe v. Wade, Biden says in the video, quoting a May 2023 Truth Social post from Donald Trump. 2 years ago, the Supreme Court justices that Trump handpicked helped overturn Roe v. Wade, Biden adds in the 45-second video published by his campaign. Hang on. You like how he says they're handpicked? Joe, in case you didn't know this, but he does know this, he is the president, but in case he doesn't know this, yes, when there is an open seat in the Supreme Court, the president nominates the justice, as a matter of fact. So every single Supreme Court justice is handpicked. As a matter of fact, every single federal judge is handpicked. Yes, as a matter of fact, they are, by the administration, and then they have to go through a Senate confirmation process. So your senators, right, whether they're Democrat or Republican, whoever has the majority has to approve these people. It blows my mind. The way the corporate press and Joe Biden and all these Democrats, they get up there and they try to excuse them. Oh, they're handpicked, y'all. They're handpicked. Like he intentionally picked these people to overturn Roe versus Wade. As if Donald Trump told them to go and overturn Roe v. Wade, the Dobbs decision. Right? As if Donald Trump did it himself. You gotta love these people. Decades of progress shattered just because the last guy got 4 years in the White House, Biden continues. The president goes on to warn Roe is just the beginning for Republicans, who he says could target birth control and IVF treatment and pursue a nationwide abortion ban. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I don't really see that happening. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying some Republicans don't want a nationwide abortion ban. As a matter of fact, some Republicans probably do. Do you really think that's going to happen, though? I highly doubt that. Most people are willing to compromise on this issue. So what is Joe Biden doing here? He's fear-mongering on the only issue he can actually win on. Because we know most people, but when these Democrats, they get out there and they start screaming about, it's a woman's right to choose, and you're taking my reproductive health care away. They start screaming. People just want them to shut up. That's the only reason abortion is even okay in this country. It's because a bunch of group of leftists got together and started yelling and screaming about rights and all this other BS and healthcare and blah, 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 and just totally obfuscated the fact that they're advocating for murder. Yes, murder. I said it, murder. We're up against extremism, Biden adds. Send me back to the White House and I'll fight like hell to restore Roe v. Wade and protect American freedom. Oh, now Joe Biden is trying to incite a riot. He is trying to incite an insurrection. We'll fight like hell. Joe Biden is absolutely calling for political violence. If you saw my last video, you would probably laugh at that, because that's exactly what CNN has said about Donald Trump. Because he says, we gotta fight like hell. Now Joe Biden is saying it. So, hey, hang on. We're just going with the corporate press narrative here. Joe Biden is absolutely calling for violence. He's calling for bloodshed if they don't get their damned abortions. Which is bloodshed, by the way. I'm telling you, man, these people are absolutely caught in the matrix, if you will, if they cannot see what the corporate press and what the Democrats are trying to do. Once again, I used to be on that side. I used to go, believe everything the corporate press said, and I'm so glad I don't. I would see stuff every once in a while man, that kind of doesn't make any sense. That's highly illogical. Why would they say that? And I would just brush it off. Until I started noticing a trend, and then started waking up, and then finally one day it just snapped. Hang on, these people are lying through their freaking teeth constantly. We got to do something about this. And then that's when I started noticing the little twists and turns that they try to twist things around, diverting it from reality to put this facade on their BS, this is reality over here, what's actually not reality. Their lies, their corporate press narrative. It's all a facade, if you will. Reproductive rights have been front and center politically in the 2 years since the conservative Supreme Court majority ended Roe v. Wade, with some states enshrining abortion rights and other states enacting restrictive laws that effectively ban the procedure. On the campaign trail, Trump has repeatedly taken credit for ending Roe v. Wade through his appointment of 3 conservative Supreme Court justices. But he has also declined to take a position on a federal limit for abortion, instead saying it should be left up to the individual states to decide through legislation or referendum how to handle the procedure. He's an authoritarian, folks, for doing that, right? For leaving the decision up to the states, let them decide. He's a fascist. For letting abortions actually happen, he's an authoritarian, right? But on the other hand, you got Joe Biden over here, wants to force everybody to live around people that murder their children, when we are actually in a replacement crisis right now. Our replacement numbers are 1.2 or something like that. Yeah, we're not going to be able to replace our population with birth rates at 1.2. We need it at least 2.0 to be replaceable, right? Each couple needs to have 2 kids to replace those 2 people. This is all very logical and makes very, very much sense. But advocating for abortion, that makes no sense. Why would you want people to murder their babies? These babies can't fight. They don't have a voice to get out there. But they don't look at it as murder. Right? Somebody has brainwashed these people into thinking that it's just a fetus. It's just a clump of cells. Why do I say that? Because that's what they argue on a constant basis. Oh, my rights, my reproductive health care. You're not trying to give me my health care. No, I'm sorry. We're just trying to stop you from murder. We have laws against murder, as a matter of fact. And Joe Biden's authoritarianism is trying to force murder upon everybody. I know that may be a stretch. That's a little bit hyperbolic, right? Some people would say that's liberty. The libertarians would say that's liberty. You know, however, my position, personally, is if you want to get an abortion, as soon as you find out you're pregnant, you should immediately go to that decision. Like, take a day or two, make that decision, but hurry up, because it's about to be too late. You get 6, 8, 9 weeks into the pregnancy, I'm sorry, you're too late at that point. It's got arms, it's got legs, it's got a heartbeat, it's got a brain developing. That's a human being you're about to murder. And I feel like it's murder. And I don't understand these people that you got most of the country believe that abortion past a certain point is wrong. Most of the country believes that. But most of the country also believes that we should allow abortions up to a certain point. Most people fall kind of where I do. 6 to 16 weeks. That's usually the cutoff, 16, 18 weeks. Usually around in there. That's too long for me personally. Like I said, 6 to 9 is my limit. But you got the vast majority of this country believe that late-term abortions, mid-term abortions, anything past, say, 24 weeks is absolutely murder. Why would you force people to live under a regime that allows people to murder their children when we have laws against murder? That makes no sense. To me, what makes better sense, if you want to have people that will allow for abortions, is to have the states make the decision. If you live in a conservative state where the vast majority of the people think that abortion is murder, have a ban. There's nothing wrong with that. Over there in California, New York, all these other liberal areas where they want to murder their babies as soon as it's born and, just decide, oh, I don't want it no more. Kill it. I feel like that's wrong, but if that's what they want to do, by all means, go right ahead. I think it's murder that's not on my hands anymore once you leave it to the states. It's no longer blood on my hands. But if you allow abortion in the entire country and we have a vote on it, yeah, you're forcing everybody to get blood on their hands. I don't like that. Democrats have repeatedly tied Trump to the restrictive abortion policies enacted in Texas, Florida, and other conservative states, highlighting stories of women who have been unable to get proper health care as a result. You love how they do that? Women can't get health care as a result of abortion, right? No, I'm sorry. That's not health care. You can't say it's health care. You got to call it abortion, but the corporate press, leave it to them because they're not unbiased. No, they're biased. You can tell by how they wrote this, leaving some women to not get health care. The Biden campaign has signaled it will use Monday's 2-year anniversary of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade to draw further attention to the issue and blame Trump for the state of reproductive rights in the country. Donald Trump is the sole person responsible for this nightmare, Biden said in a statement through his campaign. So he didn't actually say that. That's what they're trying to tell you. For him, these cruel state bans are a beautiful thing to watch, and they're just beginning. Yes, once again, it's freedom to choose. Right? These are the people always talking about pro-choice. Right? That's the pro-choice movement. Freedom to choose. You do know that choice means you can choose to keep it, right? That is part of the choice. It's not just choosing to murder it. So if this state wants to choose to keep life, to protect babies, and not allow mothers who don't want to be inconvenienced with a baby, in other words, choose murder, then, let it be how it is. Let the states decide. That's the best way this can get resolved, because if you have a national ban or you allow it nationally, you're forcing the entirety of the country to go along with one or the other when the entirety of the country doesn't agree. That's Joe Biden's authoritarianism, though. While Biden will be in Camp David on Monday preparing for his upcoming debate against Trump, Vice President Harris will travel to Maryland and Arizona for remarks focused on the anniversary of the Supreme Court ruling on abortion. And that's all to that story. But I just don't get it. I don't understand these people. This is the only thing that Joe Biden has to run on. That's a shame, folks. That is terrible. How would you like that? That you're a presidential candidate, that you're an incumbent on top of that, and the only thing you can run on is abortion. That's it. You can't say your economy's doing good. You can't say the border is good. You can't say your foreign policy is good. You can't say your domestic policy is any good. You can't say anything is good at all. Anything that you've done is good, except you fought for abortion rights. That's what you've done. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. You've taken away the junk bank fees. Knocked them down from whatever they were to $8. Good job, Joe. Oh, insulin prices. Don't forget about insulin prices. He capped them at $35. Good job, Joe. Attaboy. You go get 'em, Tiger. You silly man. Oh, man, these people are just crazy. And the corporate press is crazy for propping it up. It's like, what are they doing? Why? Why do they want to prop this up? Why do they not want to admit reality? Why do they like to cover these stories in a biased manner? Why can't we get some people who are just centered and are willing to say, yeah, these people said this, but this is actually what was said, or this is actually what the case is. This is reality. Like, why doesn't the corporate press do that? They'll just list out, oh, this is what their statement is, and just leave it at that, not saying that, not disputing any inconsistencies in their statement, not disputing anything divorced from reality, any lies, in other words. But the corporate press doesn't do that. They never do that, except with the other side. If it's Donald Trump, they are quick to say, nope, this isn't true, and then lie about it. It's a constant basis. It's a constant battle for the truth these days, it seems like. But I think I've rambled on for long enough. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. That's all I got. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.